Chapter 1251 Who is the spy? Lin Che said, let me see what she's up to, first. Crooked Neck said, Sister Che, you really know everyone, even those from the Gu family. Lin Che replied, Gu Jingze is also part of the Gu family, and don't I know him too? Oh, yes, look at my poor memory. But I think I'm just too in awe of Sister Che. My goodness, what's there to be in awe of? I just think that you, Sister Che, have nothing you can't accomplish. It's like a treasure. No matter how you dig, there is no end. Alright, stop licking my boots. Crooked Neck laughed and saw that KG was still following them. He thought that KG probably has something to say, so he left first. KG came forward. I think we have a spy from within. Why? Lin Che asked surprisingly. The semblance is uncanny. So, it's not like they could have seen our game and then copied it. No, they must have seen our template. We have never publicized our template. Never. Only a few within our department know. But we have a spy Kai Sheng Company's employees, or, Lin Che looked at KG and also hoped that it wasn't someone within. KG replied, I think it should be someone from our side. KG was very clear about this. He may not like to talk, but he was not an idiot either. He was not one to take things to heart, absolutely had trust in his roommates, and he would not think his people were necessarily harmless. KG said, I know my people. Some can be trusted completely, some I honestly don't trust as much, especially now. I won't blindly protect them. Lin Che sighed in her heart, looking at KG, so, what do you intend to do? KG replied, I will pass down some important messages, and not allow outsiders to know. Lin Che replied, alright then, I'll get people to ask around regarding this copying of our game. Okay. The two agreed to split tasks. One would investigate their internal department, another would do for the external. Lin Che thought it was surprising that Shui Mengqi would take a liking to their game this time. It looked like this game was indeed getting into the limelight, so it had come to Shui Mengqi's attention. She didn't know if she should feel proud. However, if Shui Mengqi knew that she was colliding with Lin Che again, she definitely would not be that happy. Shui Mengqi laughed as she looked at the game she developed. Facing her employees in the morning, she had preached, I've said it before. As long as you have the heart, there is nothing you can't do. Even if it's an impenetrable defense, there is bound to be some weakness. Yes, this is Miss Shui's strength. That's right, it looks like this year's game will be ruined by Mrs. Hands. Naturally, they only have a small studio. How can they fight with Miss? Take a good look at our backgrounds. Colors emerged on Shui Mengqi's face. What's going on over that side now? She turned to ask. We already have full control over that person there. Moreover, he has already stolen and given us the template, there is no way of him escaping without getting linked. He is undoubtedly under our control from now. There are no updates for now, so they are still probably clueless about a spy within them. They've only held a meeting and discussed handling this plagiarism. Very good, let us continue. Move forward the release of our program and sue them. By that time, it would be our people at court and I bet there's nothing they can do. Yes, miss. Not long after, the studio received a summon from the court. After the game was released from the other side, and based on the first entrant being the master, everyone felt that the game was very much like Ray of Light. Gamers also made a list of similarities and concluded that there was indeed plagiarism. However, Kill You took the lead and sued Ray of Light. With court documents, game purchase agreements, changed agreements, and templates being submitted, everyone immediately thought that they seemed to have evidence, and with some uncertainties, it wasn't clear who to believe anymore. Hence, there was an uproar on the internet, debating between who was the originator and who was the plagiarist. Some thought that as long as the game was good, that was enough, and Ray of Light had a richer plot and structure. Some argued that despite it being fun, it was still a plagiarized game. They would be playing Kill You. It was very fun and everyone should play. Kill You received a lot of attention as soon as it got released due to Shui Mengqi's work of promoting it. On this side, with a few people in the meeting, Crooked Neck was very displeased. They are obviously rubbing it in our faces with their hype. Lin Che said, they are definitely hyping it a lot. KG replied, so, what should we do? Lin Che replied, even though it is Shui Mengqi's doing, there is no doubt they have a large number of funds and professionals that backed all these. However, you all don't have to worry. We already have a secret strategy. We definitely won't let our game get attacked by their evil intentions. Crooked Neck craned his neck, you have a plan already. Really, what's the plan? Lin Che smiled, I'll let you know when it's time. Just know there is a plan. Crooked Neck relaxed after hearing Lin Che's words. He had absolute trust in Lin Che. Lin Che walked with KG after the meeting. The truth was, what plans could she have? She had already sent someone to ask around and found out that Shui Mengqi had connections at the courthouse and wanted the court to rule in her favor. It was not that Lin Che did not have connections, so this was not much to worry about. It was just that they did not have a concrete plan. The only plan now was to let the traitor expose himself. Thus, the words she said in the meeting was just a ruse for the traitor. This was the plan she had with KG in secret. Lin Che said, observe when you get back. I believe he'll take the bait. KG nodded his head. Do you have a suspect? I do. I accessed their computers these few days and something isn't right. After entering something, Lin Che asked, what's wrong? Someone has set a password against me, intentionally locking me out of the system. It looks like it's specifically targeted at me. In the past, nobody would block me out of anything. Chapter 1252 It really is you. Lin Che said, alright, pay more attention when you get back. The two parted. In the immediate weeks after Genesis moved to Kaishan Group, few people had gone back to the school dormitory for school matters, and even so, it was only for a short while. The school was aware of their office setup and did not really care much as they were already almost accomplished individuals. The school only wanted them to take note of important school work, like today's public class, where they had to return to school and address it. Everyone felt different the moment they stepped into the school. Chen Wei was holding his head high, extremely proud. Seriously, why do we have to be back in school? I'm so busy and I still have to attend classes. Crooked Neck replied, this is out of respect for the school. Chen Wei replied, oh look, at the front. Isn't that the school bell? She's smiling at us. Most of them were otakus in the past, with very little interactions with the outside world. At present, they were still otakus, but word about their work and entrepreneurship had got around and they had gained recognition. They were the pride of their school and the students knew all about them. Crooked Neck nudged Chen Wei, all right, that smile is for our boss. Right, KG. KG kept silent, and just walked forward. Chen Wei squinted and looked in the school bell's direction, unconvinced. Everyone prepared for their own classes upon arriving at their dormitory. Chen Wei found an opportunity and made a call to the other side. What are you guys implementing? I heard they have already found something, a weapon, to use against you. Can you guys handle it? A weapon? Who said so? Someone from the top. Who is that someone from the top? Our game, isn't it developed by a small-time celebrity with Kaishan Group? She said so. Give me the specific details the next time. Okay. The opponent knew that this game was a collaboration between Kaishan Group and the small studio. As for the specific identity, they had never asked. As there was nobody who could resist the Gu family in C Nation, they only cared about bringing this game down and never cared about who they were fighting. No matter who it was, the person could never surpass the power that the Gu family had. Chen Wei, what are you doing? Crooked Neck appeared at the back. Chen Wei froze. Why you? Chen Wei got scared and while looking at Crooked Neck, said, oh, a call from home. Really? You look tensed up. Really? Alright, I still have things to do, I'll go do them. So secretive, Crooked Neck muttered as he watched Chen Wei walked out. Chen Wei was almost scared out of his wits. Ever since he became a spy, he was always on tenterhooks, worrying about getting caught and he regretted succumbing to temptation. He realized how annoying it was, to be scared and on guard every day. Moreover, when he thought about it, getting a bonus might have taken longer, but, slowly and surely, a car and a house would have been a matter of time. He should not have given in a moment of greed. However, these did not matter anymore. He had already done the deed and there was no turning back. In the dormitory, a few came back and indulged themselves in the game. Even as the creators of the game, it was a good chance for them to play and see if there was anything that could be improved, and experience the game as they leveled up. Of course, seeing people going everywhere and with so many playing the game, they still felt a sense of accomplishment. As Chen Wei entered, Crooked Neck was talking. What plan does Sister Che have exactly? Will it really work? We've made a similar software, but it could confirm our timestamp. Didn't they take it to court? As long as it makes it to court, that small thing would prove that we were the only ones using it, and they will give themselves away. Chen Wei froze. KG, you're saying we have a unique setup. How is it that I didn't know? Crooked Neck said, yes. KG, what did you leave behind in the software? KG replied, whatever I create, it's only natural I have my way about it. They outrightly used my template, but they don't know about the mark I've left. I can prove that that program can't be written by another programmer. Only I can. It was impossible for them to write it on the spot back then. Moreover, it is a hidden program, hidden within a part of the program. It wouldn't show when they copied the whole program and they didn't even realize. But I can retrieve it. Hidden program to prevent plagiarism, it is sometimes used. Chen Wei was dumbfounded. When he took it, he had forgotten that KG was no ordinary student, he was the cream of the crop. He regretted it deeply, but had to remain calm as he sat there. Until some said they had to go for their class. He said, I can't. My head hurts, you all go ahead first. I think I'm not suited for school anymore. You're really something. You just went out a few days ago, and you were fine. President Chen, take a rest. We'll head off first. Yes, you guys go ahead. Chen Wei sneakily accessed KG's computer after seeing them leave. This time, he took extra care in cracking the computer's code. Although he wasn't in the top league like KG, he could still crack a code. Moreover, KG didn't seem to be cautious against them, it wouldn't be that difficult for a password. He looked around his computer's files and found the template. He started to search and look for some sort of special coding. Just then. Chen Wei, I can't believe it's you. Chen Wei froze. KG was already behind. Chen Wei panicked. KKG, UI. KG looked at him indifferently. Just then. A few more others walked in. Chen Wei fell in his seat and turned green. Crooked Neck walked over with resentment. Chen Wei, I really didn't think you would betray us. When KG said to return to watch a show, I thought there would be an intruder. I didn't think you would. You misunderstand. I came in here because I was just curious. KG replied, came here to have a look at the secret coding in my template, right? KG snorted and glanced at the computer. The program's template was indeed on the screen. He wasn't able to close it in time. The codes belonged to the game, each and every page in a clear view. Chen Hui's hands dropped in defeat. He knew there was no way out of this. He clenched his fists and replied defiantly, so what about it? Chapter 1253 You can't surpass GU Industries. He looked up. What do you guys want? Crooked Neck mocked in disbelief. What do we want? Chen Wei, you're being ridiculous. We've known each other for so many years. Don't you feel ashamed of your betrayal? Have you forgotten all the efforts we've put into this game, the meals we've skipped to write the codes, the constant tests, and all the nights we worked through for over a month before we got our template? To think you would give it to someone else just like that. How much did they offer, for you to not hesitate to sell us out? Chen Hui's face turned red in embarrassment. But what else could he do when things have already taken this turn? He said, I really am regretful. I didn't want this, but you guys don't know who you're facing. Crooked Neck asked, how could we not? Anyone could just think and know it's the GU Industries, isn't it? Why not just say it? Is it the GU Industries or not? Yes, it was GU Industries. Chen Wei looked down. Aren't you afraid? Gu Industries is so powerful that there's no way we can defeat them, not even Sister Che. Her collaboration with Kaisheng Group is nothing but just a collaboration. As soon as they do not see any value in us, will they still care about us? This game is only a small venture of theirs. They wouldn't even bat an eyelid should a problem arise. We have no way of fighting back, all right. Crooked Neck grunted, how do you know that we can't win? It's because a rat like you that we're in this lawsuit. If they didn't get the template, we wouldn't be having a case to fight. Chen Wei stared at him. How would we win? Even if they didn't use this, they would find some other ways against us. You think this game is the best, so it means you have the power. Do you think Sister Che has the power? Didn't you see that woman that day? She is the real deal. All she has to do is to wave her hand and many clamored to do things for her. This isn't something Sister Che can resolve easily. It's not me. If they want to destroy you guys, all it takes is just a flick of the hand. KG replied, apart from this, what else do they know? Nothing else, Chen Wei replied. Crooked Neck said, there's no way it's nothing more. Look at you, you've become their lapdog, kneeling and begging at their command. How can there be nothing else? Chen Wei replied, yes, I knelt and begged, I've become their dog. Yes, they've given me a lot of money. Do you know what they've given me? A $10 million house, a Maserati, and each time I give any sort of information, no matter how minute, they'll give me a few million, just like that. That's why you guys can never beat them. It's not because of anything but plainly because they have the affluence and the money. Do you guys even have either? Who has this kind of affluence? Do you guys still want to go against the Gu family? Just a few of you against them. Ha ha, Crooked Neck was boiling with rage. A 10 million yuan house, a car that costs a few million yuan, plus a few million yuan cash, and you immediately jumped ship. I see that's what our friendship is worth. You also think that our game is only worth as such. KG said, enough, Crooked Neck. Everyone has different thoughts. Since he feels that we're only worth so much, then let's just give him his share of the dividends and let him leave. Upon hearing that he would still get his dividends, Chen Wei looked up at once. Crooked Neck replied, fine, give it to him. Give everything to him. We don't need a person like him as our partner. KG replied, in the future, this game will earn more, and we are the creators. Everything will have nothing to do with you, Chen Wei. You have betrayed your future. I hope all that money and the house would suffice in your road to come. Then again, that would have nothing to do with us. Crooked Neck looked angrily at Chen Wei. Sign that you will leave our group and sell your shares. You can leave immediately. Chen Wei was very agreeable and said, you guys said it. I will sign it soon. But, don't think I'm stupid. I know you can never defeat Gu Industries. Do you really think this game can go far? Mark my words. Don't regret when there's an impossible future. Crooked Neck looked in disdain as Chen Wei left. He asked KG, what do we do now? All those things you mentioned, were they fake? KG nodded. Yes, I didn't leave any evidence that proves our innocence. Crooked Neck was disappointed. Oh man, to see this kind of rat having his way out, I really hate it. Chen Wei made a call as soon as he walked out. He mentioned that he got busted and that they had mentioned an imprint in the program. He said, initially, I thought there might be. But now that I think about it, it's likely they don't have any evidence. It was just a bid to catch me with something they made up, leading me to believe that the evidence exists and I would go looking for it. I'm certain there isn't, so you guys don't have to worry. Alright, you were too careless, so you actually got caught. You guys said that I'll get a huge payout in the end. Sorry, what we said was, you would get a huge payout if we won. But now that you got caught, you can't complete the task. You're saying there's no payout anymore. It's your own fault. You can't blame others. You. Chen Wei was outraged. On the bright side, they had already given quite a lot. There was still a payout to be taken from KG the next day. It would probably be a sum he would never see in his life. KG updated Lin Che about the matter. Lin Che could only mutter, who would have thought? KG said, he thinks we can't defeat Gu Industries. Oh, then he would be disappointed. Lin Che replied, don't worry, we don't need to fight with them. Is that so? Do you have a plan? That's right. Is he going to the office tomorrow? Indeed. All right, I'll go too. The next day, Chen Wei arrived at the office. After signing the agreement, he would be leaving Genesis and leaving their game. At this point, Chen Wei had come to a realization after an entire night of mulling things over. He deemed that this arrangement was just and fair, and so walked into the office with stride. Crooked Neck said, "You're here, traitor. You can sit your ass here." Chen Wei replied haughtily, "Don't think you guys can smile for long. Enjoy your last few days here as rich people and continue living in your dreams. Anyway, it won't last for long, since you will be knocked out by GU Industries." As he spoke before putting his signature down, he heard Lin Che coming from behind. "Hold on." Chen Wei looked up. Lin Che said, "Apologies, but you can't sign this agreement." Chen Wei looked at her. "What do you mean by that?" Lin Che replied, "This is considered a business fraud. You're a criminal now. We will not give you your dividends and you have been automatically removed from the company's registry. Also, you will have to be taken in for questioning." Chen Wei turned white. What do you mean by this?" Lin Che replied, "Didn't they teach you in school? Did you think it's easy to be a traitor? That the money came without conditions? Sorry, but earning money has its risks." KG and the rest may not have known, but Lin Che would never let anyone take money just like that. Chapter 1254 GU Industries isn't that scary. KG and Crooked Neck waited at the back while Lin Che stood there. She said to Chen Wei, "These are our company's lawyers and the ones behind are here to arrest you for your unlawful deeds. What else do you have to say?" Chen Wei was heavy in guilt when he saw the detectives. Looking worriedly at Crooked Neck and KG, he said, "KG, you can't do this to me. We've been classmates for so many years and we've gone through so much together." KG had very much wanted to say something but Lin Che turned back to say, "KG, so many years of hardship and yet he could still betray you. What are you hesitating about? There will be many more instances like this. Do you want to keep forgiving people? He'll never be grateful to you. Not only that, whatever benefits you've given him will be his foundation for seeking revenge on you the moment he has the chance to. Just because you've seen the lowest point of him, you'll always be his enemy. Do you understand?" KG stood there and looked at Chen Wei. Chen Wei was still begging for mercy, but KG gritted his teeth and turned away. Lin Che said, "Chen Wei, now that you've betrayed us, you have to know that this is the punishment you deserve. Everyone needs to be responsible for his actions. You're not that young either. You should know that your choice has resulted in this day." Chen Wei looked at her in a grimace, as though he was suppressing his emotions and replied, "Just wait and see, you just wait and see Lin Che, don't put in such nice words. You just can't bear to part with this small sum of money. You just wish that I don't get it. Ha, you make it sound like you're so righteous. Isn't it just an excuse to not give me my money? Ha, it's all right, I'll see how long you can stay arrogant. Do you think you can mess with the GU family? They are the GU family. Once they have their eyes set on you, even you, Lin Che, have no way out." Chen Wei was indeed filled with so much resentment that he did not even feel a tinge of regret, only resentment. He would only be happy when he sees this game being ruined by Shui Mengqi. Chen Wei looked at Lin Che. "I look forward to the day you get destroyed." Lin Che retorted, "Why? Is GU Industries that scary?" "Haha, what do you think?" Chen Wei glared at Lin Che as he made his way out. Lin Che crossed her arms as she looked at him. The detectives followed behind. Crooked Neck said, "That was seriously disgusting. He had the cheek to curse us, not feeling any bit sorry for his mistake in the first place." Lin Che replied, "Doesn't matter. No matter what you do, he'll still hate you. So, it's best not to give him a future chance." Crooked Neck looked at Lin Che with more admiration. "Sister Che, you're really brilliant. Alright, stop licking my boots. It's true, from now on, I am your fanboy." Lin Che rolled her eyes and went out. While being held for investigations, Chen Wei quickly made a call to Shui Mengqi and said, "I'm warning you, if you don't come and save me, I'm going to expose you." They knew, of course, that they had to get him out. After all, he was considered one of their most important witnesses. If he decided to flip and spill everything out, then their plan would be exposed. Chen Wei was rescued and he immediately said to the one who came for him, "You guys must make it up to me. Now that they won't give me any money, you guys have to compensate. You better just take what's given. We're mutually tied in this. However, you need to understand the power of the Gu family. If we don't wish to have this game anymore, then we won't. It's just a life or death. If you think you can get anything from me, that's impossible." Having said her piece, she went off arrogantly in her high heels and car. Chen Wei was mad beyond words. But thinking about it, he knew that he didn't dare to fight with the Gu family. After all, they were of such a big clan. It was very different from dealing with KG and his gang. He had to decide if he wanted to get more money or to look for Lin Che. She was only a small-time celebrity. Surely, she couldn't be that confident. Thus, he appeared at Kaisheng in the afternoon. Crooked Neck looked at Chen Wei and asked, "How do you still have the cheek to come here?" Chen Wei replied, "I want to see Lin Che." "Do you think you can just look for Sister Che as and when you like?" "Yeah, I can do that at the Gu family." Haha. Lin Che was indeed around at the company. So she walked over the moment she heard his voice. "What more do you want?" Chen Wei glared at Crooked Neck and spoke directly to Lin Che, "I can testify and prove that the Gu family's game was a plagiarized copy of yours. I can also prove that they intentionally stole the business secret and caused malicious competition." Crooked Neck asked, "Since when were you get this kind?" Lin Che smiled, "Just cut to the chase and say what you want." Crooked Neck suddenly realized, "Oh, you are here to make your conditions." Chen Wei said, "If I don't help you now, you'll never defeat the Gu family. When that happens, don't even think about developing your game. Give me 10 million yuan and I'll be your witness right away." Upon hearing that, Crooked Neck shouted, "Why not rob a bank? 10 million yuan, you say it with such ease." Lin Che laughed coldly, 10 million yuan. We don't have it. Chen Wei replied in contempt, "Seriously, you guys are so bent on the game. What are you going to use to fight the Gu family? I've already told you, they're generous, passing with style. Then look at you all, so miserly. He said, "Truth be told, if not because I've seen it, I would think this company has made its mark. But you have never seen how the big company handles their money. Just look at how they do their businesses. You won't even give 10 million yuan. What are you going to use to fight with them?" Ha! Lin Che replied, "Money to be spent depends on location, design, investment. We are willing to spend, but on someone like you. Sorry, I won't let you take a single cent." "You?" Chen Wei laughed. "All right, these are your words. I'll see if you're still so adamant when the time comes." Watching Chen Wei leave, Crooked Neck asked, "So what now, Sister Che?" "I've said it. The Gu family isn't that scary. Trust me." "Yes, whatever Sister Che says, I'll believe it." Soon, Gu Jingze came to pick her up. Lin Che said, "That Shui Mengqi. Her bad influence lingers." Gu Jingze replied, "What happened?" Lin Che told him what happened. Gu Jingze said, "Oh, that guy is Chen Wei. Yes, he keeps insisting that the Gu family is scary. I would like to know, how much does he really know about the Gu family to say that?" Gu Jingze replied, "That's right." Lin Che looked at him. "How are you today? Is Chen Yusheng's remedy working?" "Not yet." Lin Che touched his hair. "It's okay, it'll work slowly." "But, someone named Black Eagle went over," he said. Lin Che replied, "Oh, that is my brother. You hated him in the past." "Really? Why did I hate your family?" "Because he is very unlikable." "What did he say?" "He said he'll come over in the afternoon." "Huh. And he also said that he helped you to get Mu Feiren." Chapter 1255 The Frightening Black Eagle. Black Eagle put in a lot of effort to have someone pose as Lin Che and invited Mu Feiren over. Mu Feiren knew that Lin Che was busy and upset, so she didn't tell her about some stuff. She accepted Lin Che's invite, thinking it would be good to have a look at Gu Jingze's condition and also to see how Lin Che was doing. Mu Feiren arrived at the Gu family's place in the afternoon. She was very familiar with their place. The servants were very courteous to her as soon as she entered. Knowing that she was Lin Che's guest, they were very meticulous in waiting on her. Mu Feiren hardly came over as there were too many rules and hostility, but the servants remembered everyone very clearly. Lin Che said, "You really came over. What happened between you and Black Eagle?" Mu Feiren was confused, but understood very quickly. "This is the doing of Black Eagle." "Yes." Mu Feiren laughed and said, "So, he is Yunyan's father." Lin Che took a while to react. It turned out that she already knew. Lin Che sighed. She shouldn't get involved in matters like this. It was a relationship between two people, and the two people have to sort it out on their own. Lin Che said, "I don't know how Black Eagle was in the past, but now, his feelings for you should be real." Mu Feiren snorted, "That is your own brother. I won't listen to you." Okay, that's my brother. I shouldn't be saying anything about him." Black Eagle entered at that moment. The servants did not dare to fuss over him as he always seemed to be on a rampage. Gu Jingze had given orders to leave him alone, on account that he was his wife's brother. Black Eagle said, "Sister, I'm here to see you." Lin Che giggled, "Here to see me, really?" "Of course, it's been a few days and I've missed you." "Haha, then you can leave after having a look at me." Black Eagle walked over. How can that happen? Lin Che thought to herself that he was still pretending. Mu Feiren wanted to leave as soon as she saw Black Eagle come. Black Eagle hurried over. "Feiren, what are you doing?" Mu Feiren said, "Aren't you being childish, still pretending that it was Lin Che who looked for me?" Black Eagle said, "Childish or not, all that matters is that it worked. It's the same in business. Do you think businessmen are childish? But such tactics work." Mu Feiren sighed and Black Eagle followed. "Feiren, since you're already here, have a seat. Look, Gu Jingze is not of sound mind and Lin Che is still by his side. This shows how our family is. It's in our blood to be loyal and uphold relationships." Lin Che's face turned cold. The nerve of Black Eagle. "Feiren, I think he indeed isn't suited for you. You better stop considering." Upon hearing, Black Eagle quickly answered, "Are you even my sister? Call yourself a brother. What did you say about Gu Jingze?" Gu Jingze had already quietly walked over to Lin Che's side. "I may not be in the best of a mental state. I am aware of that. However, some people with a healthy state of mind can't even win over a fair maiden's heart. Looks like he can't even hold a candle to me." Gu Jingze may have lost his memories, but he was still as vicious with his words. Black Eagle's face turned gloomy. He had wanted to say something but was beaten by Gu Jingze. "Since you're here, why not have a meal out together?" Black Eagle closed his mouth upon hearing this, looked at Mu Feiren, and was filled with anticipation. He was willing to do anything, as long as he had a chance to be with Mu Feiren. He was even willing to be poisoned to death, even if not stung by Gu Jingze's words. Gu Jingze said, "I heard that it was because of Mr. Mo that I was able to return safely. I should thank you with a meal. Do join us, Miss Mu. You've put in some effort as well." Mu Feiren looked at Gu Jingze and seeing his state, felt that she should not reject his offer. Besides, Gu Jingze was Gu Jingze. She did not dare to reject as well. There wasn't much interaction with Gu Jingze on most days, so you couldn't say she knew him well. Although he was Lin Che's husband and she was close to Lin Che, it was still better for men and women to keep their distance. Gu Jingze was not one to get along easily with and he did not like speaking much. Thus, many of Lin Che's good friends felt unenthusiastic towards him. A relationship like this was difficult to reject. Although it felt like they knew each other, it still felt distant. Mu Feiren could only look at him and agreed. Gu Jingze got someone to make reservations at the restaurant. Lin Che walked in front with him and said, "Looks like Feiren is really angry. Oh, what evil is being done here?" Gu Jingze said, "A fair maiden is afraid of a persistent guy. Don't worry." Lin Che asked, "Really?" She looked back at both of them. Mu Feiren was still as reluctant while Black Eagle was standing by the side, without looking at her, only walking along in silence. It was as though he was thinking of how to prove his feelings for her. Lin Che shook her head in silence. This Black Eagle was really a different person when he got serious. They soon found a place for their meal. A service staff came over with the menu and looked at Mufaren. Mufaren. You must be Mufaren, oh you. Before he could finish, Black Eagle was already staring coldly at him. He got scared and shut his mouth. Black Eagle said coldly, enough with the nonsense. Bring the menu here. Yes, yes, yes. If it was anybody else who said as such, the service staff might have muttered a curse under his breath. Black Eagle's glare was exceptionally deadly and it gave people the chills down their spines. Thus, he definitely closed his mouth, not doing it for show and then cursing about it silently. The service staff quickly put the menu down and left. It was only when he went out that he told the people, my oh my, I saw Mufaren. I don't know who it is, but the guy beside her was very scary. Look, is that Lin Che across Mufaren? I think so, aren't they best friends? Oh, I feel like going over to get their autographs. 2 movie stars. But that guy is really scary. As they looked, Black Eagle was seated there expressionless and they could not see who was the man seated opposite him. If they saw it was Gu Jingze, they would definitely be more shocked. But they only had the view of his back, so they felt more strongly towards Black Eagle, thinking that he could kill with just his glare. They did not dare to go near. Mufaren noticed that the service staff were looking over as if they had seen a ghost, and rolled her eyes in her head. But having him, a Hell King around by her side was really something that made her feel unafraid about getting harassed. In the past, she would be surrounded by people asking for her autographs whenever she headed out. Now, everyone stayed far away from her, not daring to even look. It amused her just thinking about it. Black Eagle was just sitting over here, scaring people. Feeling depressed, she turned and saw that Lin Che was looking at her from the opposite side. She pretended nothing had happened and looked down the menu. Chapter 1256 This is my brother. Mufaren called the service staff over to make her order after going through the menu quickly. Not daring to look at anyone, the service staff wished he could find a place to hide when Black Eagle stared at him. It was the first time that Mufaren was out in such a public place for a meal, and she could order her food in peace without anyone asking if she was Mufaren. It was not long until another customer saw both Lin Che and Mufaren. He went over immediately and smiled. Oh, Mufaren, Lin Che. It was not a restaurant for cheap food and those who patronized had some level of wealth. Looking at the Mercedes and BMWs parked outside, it was clear they earned tens of millions. Seeing both Lin Che and Mufaren did not make him feel any smaller and so he went over to say hi. Mufaren turned back and smiled. Just as she was about to speak, Black Eagle stared coldly once again. Not only did the customer not notice Black Eagle's stare, but continued making his way over. Oh my, it really is you girls. I like you very much now. I like how you act as Ni Shang. May I have a picture with you? He stretched out his hands as he was speaking. Even though it was only a gesture, Black Eagle unknowingly took action and twisted the man's hand. Ouch, that hurts a lot. Before he could even react, the pain had already caused him to cry out. After all, Black Eagle was no ordinary man. How could the common folk withstand a move from him? The man howled in pain and fell to the ground, as though he was dying. Shocked, Mufaren hurriedly went over. Mo Jingyan, what did you do? Lin Che stood up as well. The man got up slowly and said angrily, you who are you? How dare you hurt me? I will. Black Eagle clapped his hands, grunted and stood up mighty and tall, well towering over the man. His grandeur surpassed any common man. The man was scared. Mufaren quickly said, I'm so sorry, mister. He immediately asked, what's wrong with you all? The audacity to hit me. Mufaren said, apologies, take it as he is crazy. Black Eagle replied, who says I'm crazy? He wanted to touch you. Mufaren looked at him. When did he touch me? He did not at all. Even if he did, it has nothing to do with you. Why did you hit him? You're really harassing me. Black Eagle looked at her. I'm protecting you. Mufaren laughed coldly. For someone who hurt me in the past, you want to protect me now? Black Eagle paused. Yes. Mufaren replied, thanks, but I don't need this protection of yours. I'm annoyed. Black Eagle said, even if you're annoyed, I'll still protect you. You. Lin Che really thought that Black Eagle had a problem with his emotional intelligence. There was no way he could pacify a woman when he was so overbearing. She pulled Black Eagle. All right, Black Eagle, that's enough. Come with me. You're not doing this right. She used her strength to pull Black Eagle along. Black Eagle was unwilling, but still allowed himself to be pulled away. Outside. Lin Che looked at Black Eagle. Who courts girls like the way you do? Black Eagle replied, what else should I do? Lin Che said, if you want to pacify someone, you can't do it so outrageously and unreasonably. Black Eagle frowned and looked at her. I won't. He turned to head back in. Lin Che quickly stopped him. Hey, come back here. Why are you going back? I'll explain it to her. I'll tell her, this is me, whether you like it or not. If you still want to be upset, that's up to you, but this is how I am. Hey, don't be like this. Think about, Lin Che looked at Black Eagle. How do you usually manage so many people? Why do you lose it when it comes to Farron? Black Eagle looked at her. But this is indeed me. I'll still be like this in the future. I don't wish to be Mr. Perfect and then she finds out I'm not that person like before. I was like that. I led her to think I was perfect and then she found out I was the one who hurt her. I don't want this to happen again. You. Lin Che sighed as she looked at him, but also felt that what he said made some sense. She could only reply, all right, I understand. Meanwhile, and Lan walked in and saw Lin Che with Black Eagle at once. She did not have a clear view of the man and thought it was Gu Jingze with Lin Che at first. However, his height and build were not the same. She pondered and was excited at the thought of catching Lin Che having a moment with some other guy. Lin Che already had Gu Jingze but was still brazenly having a dubious relationship with some other guy. And this man, of good build and looks, even with a sullen expression, still looked rather handsome. It's no wonder Lin Che would be attracted. However, it was still unthinkable. She already had Gu Jingze. How could she still be close to other guys? If Gu Jingze knew, it would drive him mad. And Lan's eyes brightened and she walked over. Lin Che. Of all times to meet, they had to meet here. Lin Che turned around and saw An Lan. She smiled and said, Miss An, foes truly meet at undesired times. An Lan looked in the direction of the man and said to Lin Che, with all the flirting around, all right, perhaps I shouldn't be here. I'm sorry that I witnessed this. But don't worry, I won't mention a word to Gu Jingze. Lin Che was confused, looked at Black Eagle, and saw that she was still holding onto his arm. She then understood and was afraid of a misunderstanding. Lin Che laughed, not wanting to explain further but only replied coldly, mention what to Gu Jingze? And Lan replied, are you pretending to be dumb? You and this man, oh, I get it. You probably feel empty and lonely after your wedding, especially with Gu Jingze being so busy. But you still shouldn't be out here in public letting him down. Lin Che laughed, Miss An, you're supposed to be engaged to Jingyu but here you are, very concerned about the already married Gu Jingze. I suppose this isn't right as well. And Lan replied, are you saying I'm being nosy? I'm not, I just don't agree with your antics. Lin Che replied, why not just say that you're too concerned about Gu Jingze? What do you really want? And Lan was taken aback but since their conversation had led to how it was, and seeing Lin Che with this man, she felt she had the upper hand and replied defiantly, what do I want? You feel threatened now, eh? That's right, I want Gu Jingze. My family and the Gu family should be tied by marriage. But you stood in between us. So now that you know, are you going to tell Gu Jingze? I'm not afraid of you letting him know. Anyway, I was planning to do so. But you better be careful, because if you let your mouth run, I will let everyone know about you going with other men. Oh, so you admit it now. You are interested in Gu Jingze. So what if I am? Oh, I'm not so sure. Is it a crime to hold my brother's arm? Lin Che replied while looking at Black Eagle. What? Brother. Chapter 1257 Dare to bully my younger sister. Then he was Black Eagle. And Lan hadn't expected him to be Black Eagle. She had forgotten if they had met in the past. It was because every time she went to the Gu family, circumstances were much more chaotic. She hadn't taken a good look at Black Eagle. Looking from it now, she didn't feel that the two of them bore any resemblance. It was because Black Eagle's appearance looked too domineering, and Lin Che appeared very petite in front of him. And Lan's eyes moved. She knew that she had been rash. She assessed Black Eagle, gritting her teeth, and said, "Lin Che, you better look out for yourself." Lin Che rolled her eyes at her. Black Eagle looked at her with his hands at his waist. And Lan walked away proudly. Black Eagle asked, "Who is she?" And Lin Che said. Black Eagle said, "Oh, the one who wants to have a political marriage with the Gu family, right?" "That's right. I suspect that she's involved in Gu Jingze's problem this time around. However, Gu Jingze doesn't remember it and I have no evidence either, so I can only leave things be for now. Chen Yucheng is already helping me to find a way to help Gu Jingze recover. We'll deal with things after Gu Jingze recovers his memories." Black Eagle's eyes narrowed. "You're going to let her off just like that? If not, what should I do? They do have long connections with the Gu family in the past." Lin Che pulled Black Eagle back in. "Let's go in." Black Eagle looked at the other side. She was part of the Gu family, but he wasn't. His brows raised. You go in first. I'll go and get a smoke." "Don't smoke so much." "I got it. Such a nag." Lin Che smiled. She felt that she was increasingly daring in front of Black Eagle. It could be because such daringness was a form of a sense of security that made her felt at ease. Was she accepting him more and more as her older brother? Lin Che had never experienced the feeling of being protected by an older brother. She suddenly felt very sweet inside. And Lan had just stepped out when she sensed that she was bumped by two hooligans. And Lan usually had a bunch of followers with her, yet with them behind her right now, the two of them still dared to bump into her. And Lan glared at them angrily. "What are you guys doing?" One of the hooligans' hand slipped and splashed his tea all over her expensive dress. Seeing that she was about to blow off her top, he immediately lowered his head to apologize. "Oh my god, I'm really sorry. Let me help you to wipe it off. Don't be angry, it'll be fine after it's wiped off. It's just tea. It'll be fine after you wash it when you go back." The hooligans lowered his head to help her wipe it off, but his hands seemed to have touched something else, leaving a blacker mark on her white dress. A nice dress was spoiled just like that. And Lan lowered her head and cried out angrily, "Scram! Don't touch me, you're so dirty." The hooligans were still smiling. "Oh god, I'm really sorry. My hands seemed to have touched something dirty earlier and I forgot about it out of panic." And Lan's face was red with fury. She said to the men behind her, "Throw these people out." When the gangster saw this, he responded, "What? I only dirtied your dress accidentally and you want to raise your hands against me?" And Lan's face was flushed red. She pointed to the people in front of said, "Go chase these people away." Her men immediately went over. However, just as her attendants were going over to chase the ordinarily looking hooligans away, one of the hooligans immediately kicked them to the ground. "Fuck, I helped you to wipe your dress out of goodwill, yet you dare to raise your hands against us. Do you think that we're pushovers?" And Lan was shocked. She looked at her attendants who had dashed over earlier, now all fallen to the ground and crying out in pain. "Ouch, young miss, quickly call the police." And Lan backed off for a few consecutive steps. You guys. The few hooligans no longer acted so sloppily like they did earlier. They drew in closer toward her. Before Lan could react, one of them grabbed a cup of water, and splashed it toward Lan's face. "Ah!" And Lan cried out, and her attendants also quickly came to put up a block for her. "What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Don't you know who this is? We aren't people to be trifled with." The hooligans didn't care about this. They continued to head toward Lan. Realizing that her makeup was already messed up, Lan quickly covered her face with her hair. Her hair were also draping down from being wet, and she appeared to be in a sorry state. And Lan had never been so embarrassed before in her life. Moreover, it was a public place like this. She was so angry that she broke out in tears. You guys wait. Ayo, Miss N, what happened to you? At this moment, a deep ridiculing voice rang out. And Lan looked over and saw Black Eagle sluggishly leaning by the door, smiling as he looked over. And Lan looked at the few hooligans and immediately understood what was going on. Black Eagle had done this on purpose. And Lan pushed away the attendant who was supporting her, and looked at Black Eagle. You purposely made a fool of me. How dare you treat me like this? Was it Lin Che who instructed you to do this? How dare you? Black Eagle chuckled. The person who can instruct me to do something probably hasn't been born yet. Haha, that's your youngster sister. Of course, you would help her. Since you know that she's my sister, then I don't have to say much. His ambiguous tone told others that he had admitted to this, but you couldn't really point out that he had done so. It made others felt very helpless, having no evidence even if they wished to scold him. The few hooligans who were still here earlier had suddenly gone missing without a trace. No one knew where they had gone. And Lan was so furious that her face changed colors. She pointed out her trembling finger, and even her body was shaking. In addition to her sorry appearance, she looked like a lunatic, standing there for everyone to see. Right now, she couldn't care about the other onlookers and only pointed at Black Eagle. How dare you treat me like this? Black Eagle snorted. What rubbish is Miss An talking about? What did I do to you? He was trying to feign ignorance now. And Lan's eyes turned red, and she had the urge to go over and kill him. However, Black Eagle only looked at her with a questioning expression. Did Miss An offend someone? Why have you been put into such a plight? You don't even look like a proper young lady now. You look just like a lunatic. Why don't you check yourself out in the mirror to see how horrible you look, but still stand here? If I were in your shoes, I'd be so mad that I'd jump off a building and commit suicide. And Lan's countenance turned grim, and it was only now did she recall that she was definitely in a sorry plight. She was overcome by grief and fury as she looked at him. Black Eagle, I won't take things lying down. Black Eagle snorted. With the likes of you. And Lan said, don't be too arrogant, humph. Hey, I, Black Eagle, have never been scared of anyone before. Do what you can. I shall see which person in the An family dares to have some fun with me. Black Eagle said, or you can let the few behind you to give it a try. When An Lan's attendants heard that, they immediately shrank their necks back. How could they possibly dare to go up? That was Black Eagle. He would be able to crush all of them single-handedly. Furthermore, this Black Eagle was very brutal. If they offended him now, it'd be hard for them to survive in the future. Chapter 1258 We shall see. And Lan looked at how cowardly her men were, and was overcome by fury to the extent that she almost fainted on the spot. They were too embarrassing. How could her men be so useless? At this moment, more and more onlookers had gathered. Meanwhile inside, Lin Che was still finding it strange why Black Eagle hadn't come back. She overheard a staff member say, a fight seems to have broken out outside. It's too exciting. That guy is so handsome. Isn't he bullying a woman? How can that be called handsome? He's still handsome. It's obvious that the woman isn't a good person. You're just a person who looked at appearances. He is handsome, so whatever he does is right. Lin Che stood up. That can't be. What did Black Eagle do? They had a bad feeling about this and quickly followed after her. They saw An Lan standing outside, her hair messed up and her face flushed red. Many people were looking at her with ridicule. Black Eagle just leaned at one side, his arms crossed in front of his chest as he looked at her. It was as if all these had nothing to do with her. He was still smiling with great ridicule. And Lan saw Gu Jingze and Lin Che standing together. To think that Gu Jingze was around as well. She felt so angry and embarrassed. She stomped her foot and glared fiercely at Lin Che before kicking away the useless attendant next to her and running out. Oh my god, what was going on? Lin Che looked at Black Eagle. What were you doing? Black Eagle said, it's nothing. I was just watching the fun. This was watching the fun. Lin Che was speechless. She tugged at Black Eagle and said, that's enough. Come in quickly. There are so many people watching. Sigh, just now An Lan. It's fine, she was just finding trouble for herself. But Black Eagle pressed down on her shoulder. Don't worry, I'm not a member of the Gu family. If she were to look for your trouble, then she'd be the one in the wrong. If that were to happen, I'll make sure she dies. So he was helping her take revenge. Lin Che felt a warm current in her heart. She looked at Black Eagle, feeling both helpless and speechless. Mu Feiren just watched on and then took Lin Che's hand to head back in first. There were too many people outside, and it wasn't good for them. Lin Che shook her head and said to Mu Feiren, "Feiren, I think this is how he is going to be. Sigh, he is my brother so I can't really say anything. You're my good sister, so I can't say much either. You're better off making the decision for yourself. If you still feel something for him, then treasure him. You've seen how he is. He wants to treat someone well but doesn't know the limits of what he should be doing. However, he'd definitely not let the person he likes feel aggrieved. Back then, he didn't know you and thus, did that to you. But now that the two of you have gotten to know each other, do you still think of him as the person who brings you nightmares when you look at him now?" Mu Feiren pursed her lips. "I know that he is very good but..." She still couldn't get past the hurdle in her heart. Lin Che patted her on the shoulder, not having any expectations that Mu Feiren would forgive Black Eagle right away. However, by the looks of things, it seemed like she did have some feelings for Black Eagle. Very soon, it was about time for the court to be held. Chen Wei saw that Lin Che hadn't contacted him, so he could only go to look for Shui Mengqi's subordinate. He also agreed to testify for them. This time around, he only asked for a small portion of benefits. When the other party saw that he knew what was good for him and agreed to testify for them, they were naturally glad to see that. Therefore, they agreed to his request. On this day, Chen Wei drove his Maserati to come with his lawyer to give his testimony. His clothes were also brand new as if he was here to prove to them that he was still leading a good life after leaving this place. Shui Mengqi had paid him a lot. To ordinary people, the money would be enough to spend lavishly for a very long time. Chen Wei entered with the lawyer, saying with a snort, "The court is going to be held soon. Are you guys all right?" Seeing Chen Wei walk in arrogantly, Crooked Neck said, "Humph, does it feel good to buy things with the money you got from betraying others?" Chen Wei asked, "What money from betraying others? Let's get things straight. These are all that I deserve to get." "Humph, you'll get your retribution one day." "Alright, I shall see. Didn't you guys say that you've got an evidence? Why is it that the results from my investigation is that till now, you guys still don't have a way to handle things? Haha, I don't mind divulging some things to you. This great lawyer here is a top-notch lawyer working for the GU Industries. Can the lawyer you hire compare against him?" The few of them exchanged glances, and really felt angry to see how proud Chen Wei was acting. At this moment, KG came over from the back and said, "All right, go do whatever you're supposed to do. If there's anything, we'll talk in court." However, how could they be in the mood to continue with what they were doing? They were already infuriated after seeing Chen Wei. Chen Wei tossed his head, that's right, go and do something about this matter. This game might cease to exist very soon. You guys are better off hurrying to enjoy it. Sigh, but I still want to ask, why don't I see your lawyer? Where is he?" Lin Che had always been the one to deal with such matters, so they still had no idea about it. Therefore, they didn't know how they should reply to Chen Wei. "Sister Che has everything prepared. You just wait," Crooked Neck said. Chen Wei laughed. "Do you really think Lin Che is omnipotent? Humph." Crooked Neck pursed his lips. He had the strong urge to punch Chen Wei. "Yes, Chen Wei, you're amazing. You managed to get connections with the GU family and feel very proud now. But this will be the only time you get to feel proud. I don't believe that the GU family will continue to use you. You left us. The GU family wouldn't want a traitor like you either." Chen Wei said, "So what? I've already gotten the money anyway. It's different for you guys. Without the game, you guys will need to give compensation until you don't have a single cent left." "Ha ha ha ha." Chen Wei said, "And how do you know that the GU Industries won't hire me? In business, they need people like me who is flexible." At this moment, no, what the GU Industries need are people who knows how to be flexible, not people who shows flexibility when things don't call for it. Lin Che came. The few people who were following behind her didn't seem to be whom they had seen before. When Crooked Neck saw that Lin Che was finally here, his eyes lit up. Chen Wei laughed. Who do you think you are? You think that you know everything just because you've set up a company. Lin Che said, I heard someone shooting off loudly earlier, asking why we don't have a lawyer. Aren't I here with one now? It turned out that the person behind her was a lawyer. Chen Wei looked over as well. However, at this moment, the lawyer who had came along with Chen Wei was stunned when he saw the person behind Lin Che. Mr. Wu, why are you? Chen Hui's lawyer immediately walked over with an inferior stance, lowering his head and offering a handshake. Chen Wei froze. They knew each other. However, it was understandable for good lawyers to know each other. But why did he appear so inferior? It was as if he didn't dare to raise his head to be higher than Mr. Wu. Mr. Wu, why is it that aren't you a lawyer working exclusively for the GU Industries? But why is it that you still accepted this case for another company? Chapter 1259. To think that she was related to the GU family. The other people still didn't understand what was going on and just quietly watched on. When Mr. Wu saw him, he was taken by surprise. What are you doing? Why are you here? Mr. Zheng, the lawyer who came with Chen Hu, quickly said, Miss Shui had asked me to come. Mr. Wu was stunned. It was a fight between their own people. Was Miss Shui aware of who she was fighting the case against? That shouldn't be. If she knew, she wouldn't have sent old Zheng here. A thought struck him. He had been working in this trade for many years, so he knew about some things. Old Zheng, don't take this case. Huh. Listen to me. Look for an excuse and reject it. He wouldn't get involved with the matters within the GU Industries, but he still divulged some things, throwing a sidewards glance toward Lin Che, who was behind him. Mr. Zheng seemed to realize something when he saw that. The reason Mr. Wu was here was because of Lin Che. They didn't know much about the entertainment industry, nor did they knew that Lin Che was a big star. They only heard of her name before. Mr. Zheng's level wasn't as high and hadn't come into contact with the people who had more power in the GU family, unlike how things were for Mr. Wu. This person was definitely someone who was of a higher status in the GU family. Therefore, Mr. Zheng immediately said, Thank you for your guidance, Mr. Wu. I understand. After saying that, he gave his greetings and quickly turned to leave. Chen Wei was a little dumbstruck when he saw this. The two lawyers had been mumbling to each other for a while, but why was Mr. Zheng leaving now? What was he doing? Mr. Zheng, hey, wait for me. Aren't we here for negotiations today? Why are you? I don't feel well. My heart is going to act up. I'll be taking my leave first. Hey, you. Crooked Neck and the few of them were also stunned when they saw Chen Wei about to leave just like that. They asked, what's going on? Mr. Wu said, it seems that there isn't a need to fight this case anymore. This old Zheng was really to think that he didn't even check out who this person was. She was Gu Jingze's wife. What was Miss Shui? Putting aside other things, all the matters in the GU Industries were still being handled by this madam. Chen Wei looked at Mr. Zheng. Hey, you can't leave just like that. What's going on? Chen Wei wanted to see the other side get destroyed. They had already come for the negotiations, and the other side didn't hold any evidence to prove that they didn't copy. However, to think that Mr. Zheng wanted to leave. Mr. Zheng said, that's enough. Who would be able to win against Mr. Wu in a case? Moreover, I don't dare to fight against him either. Huh, that person is very amazing. Chen Wei found this strange. How did they manage to find that amazing lawyer? To think that it was someone that even Mr. Zheng didn't dare to fight against. Putting aside other things, we serve the same company, to begin with. What do you mean? He is also a lawyer working for the GU Industries. What? Chen Wei was stunned. That was impossible. How could that be? How did Lin Che manage to find a lawyer working for the GU Industries? Moreover, he is a lawyer who specializes in dealing with business matters for Gu Jingze. He is President Gu's lawyer. How can he be placed on the same level as lawyers like us who can't reach the core in the GU Industries? Huh, Gu Jingze is. That's the head of the GU family. Even I haven't seen him in person. Then how did they manage to get this lawyer? That's right, I find that strange as well. Ever since Mr. Wu went to the top floor, he no longer takes on any external cases. From what he says, that lady seems to have connections with the Gu family, and that's why he is here. What? Lin Che has connections with the Gu family? That's impossible. She is a celebrity. If she really has connections with the Gu family, why would she work with Kaishang? She could just get the Gu family to fork out fundings directly. I don't know about this. But in terms of seniority, connections with the management, and his brutality when fighting cases, Mr. Wu is a lot more amazing than I am. He didn't lose any cases for the past 3 years. I'd be courting death if I fought against him in a court case. After saying that, Mr. Zheng shook his head, took the document file, and left. Hey, you! Chen Wei was still at the back, not unable to figure out what was going on. He couldn't understand how Lin Che could have any connections to the Gu family. When everyone was inside, they looked at Lin Che. This case, Crooked Neck asked. Lin Che said, didn't they withdraw? I think that this case won't be able to continue. Huh. Lin Che said, alright, everyone can just get back to work on their own stuff. Don't bother about these things. Wow, that can't be. Things ended just like that. In fact, Lin Che hadn't really been worried much. It was because the reason Shui Mengqi would target their game was mainly that she had no idea of her own involvement in this. Once Shui Mengqi found out, she would stay away from the game in order to avoid arousing suspicion. Therefore, she could just reveal her identity. Things hadn't reached that stage yet. But calling Mr. Wu to help out in the case would already be sufficient to let the other party's imagination run wild. On the other side, Shui Mengqi immediately got hold of this piece of news. What do you mean? This game, was done by Lin Che? That was impossible. Her subordinate said, they said that it wasn't developed by Lin Che, but that Lin Che mingled around with them. How could it be her? Shui Mengqi was a little surprised. She felt very unhappy that they clashed again. It might not be her. She doesn't have such capabilities. It might be because of that television drama. That's right. That's true too. Didn't they work together for that television drama? They might be in collaboration. Humph, to think that she dares to ask the GU Industries for help. Isn't she intentionally going against us? That's enough. We don't have any other way out of this either. Since the GU Industries has gotten involved, then we can't do anything. How can that be? Shui Mengqi also clenched her fists tightly, feeling very enraged. Their crisis had been resolved. Crooked Neck was very happy as he yelled, I knew that with Sister Che around, there's nothing that can't be done. Sister Che, let's go out for a celebration tonight. Lin Che also felt bad for these companions of hers. In the beginning, she felt that she didn't want to divulge too much, and thus didn't tell them about her connection with the GU Industries. During this period of time, they didn't show it on their faces, but they were definitely very worried. Now that they could relax, she said, all right, let's go out for a meal. Crooked Neck took the opportunity to say to KG, what a good woman, KG, make good of this opportunity tonight. The atmosphere is good. If you put in a little effort, things might just work out. KG looked at Lin Che and gave a retort to Crooked Neck. They arrived at the location for tea dinner. Everyone drank alcohol happily. Lin Che said, it's been hard on everyone during this period of time. The few of them raised their cups. Seeing this, KG picked up Lin Che's wine glass and said, let me. Lin Che asked, hey, KG, what are you doing? KG said, girls shouldn't drink so much. Lin Che said, it's fine. Everyone is in a good mood today. Don't worry, it's fine to drink a little once in a while. Crooked Neck tried to hint to KG as well, telling Lin Che, drink up, drink up. He tugged KG over. Wait to make a move after she is a little tipsy, and confess to her. It'll definitely work. Shoo, go away. However, they hadn't drunk with Lin Che before and didn't know that her tolerance level was a little shocking. It didn't take long for Lin Che to become tipsy. This time around, I'm really very happy to be able to be with everyone. KG, is there a girl in our company that you like? You aren't young anymore and can get in a relationship. Don't be writing programming codes every day. If there's someone you like, I'll go talk to her for you. It isn't easy for a programmer to find a partner. Chapter 1260. Isn't that Gu Jingze? KG looked at her and drank up silently. At the side, Crooked Neck couldn't stand it anymore. Sister Che, there isn't a need to look for other people. What do you think about our KG? Huh, Lin Che looked at Crooked Neck in surprise. What do you mean? I mean, our KG actually quite like you. Lin Che was a little stunned for that instant, and took a while before she reacted to things. She smiled and said, haha, what are you joking about? I will go out first. To pee. Left with no other way out, she could only use that as an excuse. Lin Che went out, thinking, oh my god, oh my god. This Crooked Neck is really why is he shooting his mouth off? But did KG really have such feelings for her? She thought of how Li Mingyu had brought this up to her before back then, but Lin Che hadn't taken it seriously. She felt a little worried as she thought about this. Lin Che thought that if there was really no other way out, she should just tell them the truth. Previously, she just felt that she didn't want to explain too much. But it seemed that that wasn't possible now. Moreover, they were considered trustworthy people now. She wasn't worried that they'd shoot their mouths off to other people. Lin Che picked up her phone and called Gu Jingze, saying, hubby, do you want to come over to pick me up later? Not long later, Lin Che entered the room once again. KG still sat there, eating his food. Crooked Neck looked at her with anticipation. He had clearly not forgotten about their conversation earlier. Lin Che asked, why are you staring at me? Crooked Neck said, what do you think, Sister Che? You can't possibly be feeling shy, right? Hee, we're all so close. If there's anything you want to say, just say it. Why do you feel the need to be shy? Lin Che said, I'm really sorry. Your sister is already taken. Crooked Neck was stunned, not able to react to what she was saying. KG paused in his actions and looked at Lin Che. Lin Che said, I'm already married. Crooked Neck was so shocked that it felt as if his jaws were going to drop off. How is that possible? Why haven't I heard of that before? Why would you need to hear of that? Crooked Neck drew in closer, stuttering a little from agitation. Sister Che, you can't be like this. You can't just say that you're already married just because you want to reject our KG. If you got married, the whole world would know about it. You're so famous, there are so many paparazzi. There were really many paparazzi, but they had no means of coming into contact with the Gu family. Lin Che smiled, you're overthinking things. Paparazzi aren't that omnipotent. They're still a long way off from being able to shadow me. There had been people who had wanted to shadow her in the past, but they were hijacked on the way. Afterward, those people knew that Lin Che's bodyguards were different from other bodyguards. Everyone in the industry knew about this, even the paparazzi. It was probably impossible to get any information for them to publicize, and thus, no one wasted the time to attempt anything. At this moment, Gu Jingze really came. Lin Che saw her phone rang and quickly said, all right, my husband is here to pick me up. Crooked Neck was stunned. She really had a husband who came. Crooked Neck said, this can't do. I must go and take a look. Lin Che didn't mind. She said to him, come then. Crooked Neck followed her out and saw that a group of people was waiting outside for Lin Che. He still didn't believe it, but saw Lin Che turning to smile before running over. The car door was opened and Gu Jingze alighted. Crooked Neck looked at this guy, stunned. Hey, he looks a little familiar. But he seemed to have forgotten who this person was. After giving it some thought. Hey, KG, why is it that this person looks so much like that head of the Gu family whom you showed me the other time? KG's eyes narrowed. That's him. What? Crooked Neck looked outside in disbelief. KG said, I invaded the Gu Industries system previously, but was pushed back. I only managed to have the chance to go in and take a look after I got the help of a few people to invade it together. However, I didn't get to go too deep inside. I've ascertained that this man is the family head, Gu Jingze. Crooked Neck had watched as KG invaded the GU Industries system, and heard what Chen Wei had said about how powerful the GU Industries was. Therefore, they wanted to go in and take a look. KG only managed to invade it for a short moment, but was stopped by many hurdles. It wasn't that easy to gain access. He only managed to take a screenshot of Gu Jingze's photo and showed it to Crooked Neck. Afterward, KG went back by himself to take a look again, and also studied Gu Jingze's photo in greater detail. Therefore, KG could recognize him immediately after seeing him. Crooked Neck said, "That can't be." He felt that this was too much a surprise, but didn't feel any other emotions. He watched as Lin Che got on the car and left, and then saw the group of cars driving away orderly. Crooked Neck's mouth was still agape. It was too saddening for their boss. It hadn't been easy for him to like someone, but that person turned out to be Gu Jingze's wife. Even if it was someone slightly weaker, it'd still be acceptable. The next day, Lin Che arrived at the office early in the morning. "Sister Che, you've been hiding it so thoroughly from us. Tell us quickly, is that person from yesterday Gu Jingze?" Crooked Neck heard that Lin Che would be coming today and specially came early to wait at the door for her. Lin Che entered and asked, "You know Gu Jingze? Do you think we're blind?" Crooked Neck said, "Didn't we see him yesterday?" Lin Che was a little surprised. "I know, but, Gu Jingze's appearance, there doesn't seem to be many people who know that." Crooked Neck said, "We didn't know. But we took a look when our boss invaded their system the other day." Invaded. Lin Che was struck by a thought and she immediately reacted. "You've invaded into the GU Industries system before?" Crooked Neck quickly covered his mouth. I didn't say anything." Lin Che looked at him in surprise. "Oh my god, you guys don't want your life anymore. To think that you'd dare to invade into the GU Industries system. Is the GU Industries that amazing? We must not invade it?" Crooked Neck asked. Lin Che said, "Of course. Please feel free to invade them. If they get their hands on your address, the police might come knocking on the door straight away." Lin Che didn't know about this in the past. It was after she had gotten involved in the GU Industries business this time around that she found out how powerful the GU Industries system was. She said, "They are directly connected to the police reporting system, and have very strong defenses. It's not the same as the defense systems that ordinary uses to fend off hackers. If you guys were able to get your hands on anything after entering, something would be wrong." KG was the one who invaded in. He didn't explore too many places, but only take a simple look. "Is that so? Then KG is really quite amazing." Lin Che held admiration for him. Qin Hao had mentioned many times that their system's firewall could fend off 100% of the invaders. But seeing that KG could still enter, he was pretty amazing. Crooked Neck said, "That's of course. He's our boss." Lin Che said, "Moreover, putting other things aside, there are more capable talents in the GU Industries than you can imagine. Even their assistant can stop KG's invasion attempt." "You can continue boasting. Which assistant in the GU Industries?" "The president's assistant. I wasn't able to find you guys the other time as you hid well. I had looked to Qin Hao for help to locate you." Alright, I know him. KG mentioned before that he should be an experienced character in this field. His techniques are very unique.